Pyramus was the handsomest youth, Thisbe the fairest maiden in all of Babylon. Their families lived in adjoining houses, and neighborhood brought the young people together, and they soon fell in love. They would gladly have married, but their parents forbade them. One thing, however, they could not forbid, that love should glow with equal ardor in the bosoms of both. They conversed by signs and glances, and the fire burned more intensely for being covered up. There was a crack in the wall that separated the two houses. No one had noticed it before, but the lovers discovered it. It allowed them to pass tender messages to each other through the gap. As they stood, Pyramus on this side, Thisbe on that, their breaths would mingle.
O cruel wall, why do you keep two lovers apart?
But we will not be ungrateful. We owe you, we confess, the privilege of transmitting loving words to willing ears.
Such words they uttered on different sides of the wall, and when night came and they must say farewell, they pressed their lips upon the wall, she on her side, he on his, as they could come no nearer. Next morning, when Aurora had put out the stars and the sun had melted the frost from the grass, they met at the accustomed spot. Then, after lamenting their hard fate, they agreed that next night, when all was still, they would slip away from the watchful eyes, leave their homes, and meet at the tomb of Ninus, and whichever one got there first should wait for the other at the foot of the mulberry tree. It had white fruit, and stood near a cool spring. All was agreed on, and they waited impatiently for the sun to go down beneath the waters and night to rise up from them. Then cautiously Thisbe stole forth, unobserved by the family, her head covered with a veil, made her way to the monument, and sat down under the tree. As she sat alone in the dim light of the evening, she spotted a lioness, her jaws reeking with recent slaughter, approaching the fountain to quench her thirst. Thisbe fled at the sight, and sought refuge in the hollow of a rock. As she fled, she dropped her veil. The lioness, seeing the veil on the ground, tossed and rent it with her bloody mouth. Pyramus, having been delayed, now approached the place of meeting. He saw in the sand the footsteps of the lion, and the color fled from his cheeks at the sight. Presently he found the veil all rent and bloody.
O hapless girl, I am the cause of your death. You, more worthy of life than I, have fallen first. I will follow. I am the guilty one for bringing you such place of peril. Come forth, O lions, come from the rocks, and tear this body with your teeth. My blood shall stain your cloak also.
Drawing his sword, he plunged it into his heart. Blood spurted from the wound, and tinged the white mulberries of the tree all red. Thisbe, still trembling with fear, yet wishing not to disappoint her lover, stepped cautiously forth, looking anxiously for the young man, eager to tell him the danger she had escaped. When she came to the spot and saw the changed color of the mulberries, she doubted whether it was the same place. While she hesitated, she saw the form of one struggling in the agonies of death. She started back, and a shudder ran through her frame. But as soon as she recognized her lover, she screamed, embracing the lifeless body and imprinting kisses on the cold lips.
O Pyramus, what has done this? Answer me, Pyramus. It is your own Thisbe that speaks. Hear me, dearest, and lift your head.
At the name of Thisbe, Pyramus opened his eyes, then closed them again. She saw her blood-stained veil and the scabbard empty of its sword.
Your own hand has slain you, and for my sake I too can be brave for once. And my love is as strong as yours. I will follow you in death, for I have been the cause, in death, which was the only thing that could part us, shall not prevent my joining you. And you, unhappy parents of us both, deny us not our united request. As love and death have joined us, let one tomb contain us. And you, tree, retain the marks of slaughter. Let your berries still serve for memorials of our blood.
So saying, she plunged the sword into her chest. The two bodies were buried in one tomb, and the tree ever after brought forth red berries as it does to this day.